I'll ask Matt to just start our proceedings. We've come up with a little something to do instead of the acknowledgement, and very grateful for Glenn for suggesting this particular alternative. Thank you.
That's right. It's a rain dance. So all I need you to know it's not true. It's not true. But yeah, for those who haven't heard, I'm sure word's slipping around. Stacey Nico Piper was going to be here. She was really pumped. She was excited. We were all looking forward to meeting her, and COVID's done COVID's thing. So, you know, that's just one of those collective sighs we can do together. But of course, exactly. Oh, but we're still grateful for you coming, for you being here, for what it means for you to be here. So thank you to listen and learn. So as Shakti said, we're going to pivot. That's what the 2022 year is, the year of the pivot. So we're going to do that right now. Before we do anything else, I would like to offer my acknowledgement of country, and that is to pay respects to the elders of this place. Of course, hopefully we're all aware by now, it's the Wurundjeri people to whom we pay our respects. It is, of course, to their elders I wish to pay respects, both past and also present, and also those yet but emerging. So I'm going to pass over to you, Joe, Deputy Mayor, and I would like you to kind of officially cut the imaginary tape, do all official things, give this a weight, you know, purely by your amazing presence here with us, and say a few words.
Thanks, Matt. I'm not sure I can give it weight. Yeah, my name's Joanna Skelton, and I always feel really uncomfortable with having weight as a councillor, and I'm still, I guess it comes from the fact that I'm still wrestling that we have, I guess I'm officially a part of the imposed new law of this land now, which I'm on one hand really proud to be, and absolutely believe in, you know, systems of democracy and all that. But I know that, you know, it's because we have actively rejected the laws that were already here in this land and working by many accounts extremely well for many thousands of years that I exist in this role, and that it's, you know, I guess all bundled up with the privileges that you know, my family members had as colonisers in this country for me to stand here today. So I don't know if I can give it any weight, but I would like to also, I guess, officially acknowledge on behalf of the council, the Wurundjeri people as the traditional owners and custodians of this land. I pay my respects, and council pays their respects to elders past and present, and acknowledge all of the emerging powerful leaders coming through, people like Stace Nico Piper, who I would have been rad to have that beautiful welcome here today. Get well soon, Stace. But yeah, I am privileged, and to continue to benefit from that rich cultural knowledge that continues to this day. And as a council and as a community, we are all privileged by that, and very grateful. Anything else you wanted me to touch on today? I was going to mention the beautiful artwork, which is behind me here. And today was going to be the unveiling of a beautiful reproduction of that out in the Flame Garden. So I'm sure most people are familiar with the Flame Garden, but it's a community space where they grow food, teach people to grow food. It's always available for those who need food and want to connect to the land in that way. And the artwork that is out there and here is all based around really ancient food production. So this is a picture of women harvesting yams. I think hopefully I've got that right. And in this area, you know, harvesting of yams was absolutely a really important food source and a rich part of the cultural rhythm of the land. So the Muryan yams harvesting. So I think it's a really fitting painting to have now represented for us all to see as we come and gather in that Flame Garden. Okay, I think I am probably handing over back to that. But thank you so much for having me today, and I'm really looking forward to this this conversation. Before I throw to you, Matt, I did just want to say how, as a council, we have, I think, a pretty rich and open, vulnerable conversations around reconciliation. We have a wonderful Indigenous advisory group that I'm lucky enough to sit on, and pretty much all the major initiatives that council do, they go through that advisory group, and we're always getting feedback on different ways of creating a culture that works for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders, but also works for all people, because obviously that same knowledge applies to all people. So yeah, I mean, it's always really fascinating to hear that feedback, and there are so many cultural differences that I and all of council are just learning all the time. So we're very lucky to have that. And I guess as your councillor, please feel free to come to us with any other things like the Walking Together program, because it was the Walking Together group that has created this space where we can have these rich conversations and we can all learn and go deeper. And any one of us, all of us, need to be having those conversations and thinking more deeply about this topic, especially those who, I guess, are privileged enough to think they don't have to. So well done, Walking Together, for the Hills Group, and you know, go forth throughout the Yarra Ranges and beyond. It's a brilliant thing to have. Thank you, Matt.
I charged you with adding depth to this arrangement, and you did just that. So thank you, Joe, and thank you for your voice in that. Glenn charged us this morning that in this whole treaty conversation, this voice in Parliament, all these things, Glenn basically said one of the key things you can do as local people is support the local areas of this place. That even though there's positive signs, it's going to be a heap of mud throwing, heap of work to do, heap of all the stuff, the soil gets turned and tossed up in the air in that process. So Joe, thank you for the work you do of supporting the local elders of this place, and a reminder to us to, through local council and ourselves, let's support that important voice in this next period where it will be really, really crucial for us to do that. So Glenn, I'm going to hand to you. Glenn is our guest speaker. We're going to hear more about Glenn, and I'll officially introduce him just a little later on. But in the meantime, I'd like you, in our pivoting, work, to just, again, offer some earthing and grounding and acknowledgement from you.
Thank you, Matt, and thank you very much, Joe, for your words. It's really important that for 2% of the population and a small group of elders, that they have the support and the fact know that in places such as councils, their voices are heard, and they are able to go into those places without any fear, knowing they're safe places. And I suspect that's one of the major tasks any council has to deal with. And if you can do that, you've done something very special. Darabalinya Badu Warajri Yawan Nadi Glen Lochri Yaradu Marang Gawambana. Gawambana, I've added that word, means welcome. And as I welcome you this afternoon, the task was to be for Stacey to come and to share with us with a smoking and a welcome. But unfortunately, COVID has got its way into some of these things and she's not able to be here. I am not able to do a welcome to country because I'm a Wiradjuri, not Wurundjeri, and I don't do smokings either in these sort of contexts. So what I would like to do is to talk about why it's important that we have welcomes to country from elders such as Stacey and others, because they are the continuing contemporary custodians of this place. This remains their land, or probably more truthfully, they remain this land's people. Okay, because we don't own land in that individual sense. The land in many ways owns us and lives within our bodies because we were born out of the ground. And for people like Stacey and others who are local elders, they've been born on this space, they've been born out of the ground of many centuries laying down of tradition and knowledge. We need to remember that tradition and knowledge is not stuck. It is as the universe is, an ever evolving practice of knowledge and wisdom sharing. So it never changes. That's why I often say to people, please don't use the word traditional owners or traditional custodians. Shift it by saying it's continuing, because that helps you to understand that the elders are continuing to grow and to become and to develop more knowledge and more wisdom for the times they're in. It tells you that the land that we're on is continuing to grow and to speak in new ways to us. It reminds us that it is still alive. We're not gone. I'm not traditional. I am contemporary. So when we come to do this welcome of country, it's vital to allow the continuing people, the continuing elders, to offer a hand of welcome with some wisdom to say, you know, you haven't been that good on this place up until now, but we're still going to let you stay here. I have tried, I've called a lot of embassies asking which country would take you all back, but no one's offered. So we are stuck with you. But it is that sense of how do we do that, and if you engage fully into a welcome and you listen with your eyes closed and your mind stilled, it will change how you are on this place. Vitally important. So while I can't do a welcome, I do acknowledge deeply that this is not our place. This belongs to the Wurundjeri elders and their peoples and their dreamings and their song lines and their cultural knowledge. And as my father would say, walk country. If you listen carefully, it'll tell you what you need and what it needs you to do. And above all, don't make dust. Thank you.
I'm going to hand over to Gail Moncrief, who's a member of this church and one of our wonderful, someone who's lived in the territory, worked in the territory as a First Nations kind of educator with First Nations peoples. He's a wonderful resource to our kids in this space. And so Gail, you've got a book that you're going to read that is called Welcome to Country, to talk more about what Glenn's... I don't think so yet. We might just, I'll go and unmute you over there. And the book will also be shown on the screen, so you can see the pictures as we go.
This is a beautiful book. This beautiful book was written by Auntie Joy Murphy, who is the Wurundjeri Nation, and this is some of the illustrations. So as I read it, these are the welcome words by Auntie Joy Murphy. Welcome to country. Wamdeka, Wurundjeri, Bala, Yemen, Bundibi. Welcome to the traditional lands of the Wurundjeri people. Our ancestors left their mark on the land for us to follow in their footsteps. We have a presence on this earth through the spirits of our ancestors. We respectfully acknowledge the elders and the community of this land and all elders and communities of this continent and neighbouring islands. We thank them for their courage, strength, integrity and values. We, the Wurundjeri, are the Managum people, Wurrun, the River White Gum and Derry, the grub that lives in the tree. Bunjil the eagle is our creator spirit. Bunjil created man, woman, and child from the land. Bunjil created the birds, the animals, the mountains, the rivers. Bunjil created all things natural from the land. Bunjil watches over the indelible footprints of our ancestors on this land. We invite you to take a leaf from the branches of the White River gum, and we hope you do. It means you are welcome to everything, from the tops of the trees to the roots of the earth. But you must only take from this land what you can give back. We thank you, for you have now joined with us to pay respects to the spirit of our ancestors who have nurtured this land for thousands of years. We are part of the land, and the land is part of us. We feel the roots of this land beneath the soles of our bare feet. This is where we come from. Our language is the Woiwurrung Ngulu. Womanjeka, Wunjeri, Wurundjeri, Balak, Yemen, Kondibik. Welcome to the traditional lands of the Wurundjeri people. Welcome to country. And thank you to Auntie Joy Murphy for her words.
So, this is a song written by Laura Brearley, and it's you make up your own mind what it is. So it's call and response. I'll sing a line, you sing a line after me. It goes like this. We honour the land that we're meeting on. We honour the land that we're meeting on. We honour the country and the old ones. We honour the country and the old ones. We sing up country, we sing it up strong. We sing up country, we sing it up strong. For we are all connected as one. 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 Lovely. Okay. Shakti wants it again. Okay, yep. So, we honour the land that we're meeting on. We honour the land that we're meeting on. We honour the country and the old ones. We honour the country and the old ones. We sing up country, we sing it up strong. We sing up country and we sing it up strong. For we are all connected as one. For we are all connected as one. For we are all connected as one. For we are all connected as one.
So that's our little welcome to country as we pivot. So we're not actually starting till 1 o'clock with the Q&A and the presentation. So you now have time to go and feast on the food out there if you wish, or to wander or to mingle or to just sit. It's up to you. You may want to go and see this beautiful artwork that is also now gracing the Flame Garden out there. And you will also see it at the Belgrave Food Garden in Belgrave. The other thing that Hills Walking Together has been busy doing with the help of the Upwey Community Group is putting together acknowledgement signs for all the villages up here. So we're very keen for you to get the word out that we have these beautiful acknowledgement signs. There's a picture on our Facebook page. I should have brought one today. It's really beautiful. But it all started with Jonathan Levine over here, who got the fire going at the Upwey Community Group. And as a result, we now have these lovely acknowledgement signs. You can actually go out in front of the church there and you'll see one there. They will be available for villagers and they will be available for businesses. So I've already had orders for businesses, so please get the word out. But in the meantime, have a bit of a break and we'll be back here at 1 o'clock.
There's food in the hall as well, and I'll donate some tea and coffee
Yeah.
for those that want it.
All right, thank you very much, Carla. Food in the hall as well. So no need to be hungry. See you at 1.